National Identity Number registration records appreciable progress in Plateau State. Governor Simon Lalong partners French ambassador on solid mineral exploration. Also, strictly to COVID-19 safety rules, stakeholders tell school authorities. Welcome to Panorama from Jos Network Center. This and more stories will come your way shortly. I am Felicia Dalio Samaila. National Economic Council is insisting that there will be no lockdown for now as a result of the increase in the level of COVID-19 cases in the country. The council is rather insisting that public health measures will be put in place to prevent further spread and damage and will be strictly monitored in the various states. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports that and other deliberations.
National Economic Council Subcommittee on COVID-19 has been interfacing with the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. And one of the fallouts, as observed by the subcommittee, is the improvement in the test of suspected cases. An indication is the more than 1,000 positive cases seen on daily basis. This increased number of positive cases is also of great concern to the National Economic Council, as explained by the Delta State Governor.
NEC, we have agreed that we need to begin to talk to our people and to talk to the religious leaders to ensure that we reduce the level of gathering that we have. We also briefed NEC and on the regulations, the Health Protection Regulation 2021, as it relates to COVID-19 pandemic prevention, which we are waiting to be signed by Mr. President.
Not only on religious gatherings, schools, banks, government and private offices and markets are all included.
The information given to us as of today is that we're expecting 100,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine, COVAX, that they will be providing as promised 20 vaccines for 20% of the population over time. Nigeria, through an arrangement by the African Union, is also through the African CDC, is also making arrangements for about 10 million doses for Nigeria.
Also of great importance, as observed by the National Economic Council, is the need for oxygen availability in all health institutions where people are being attended to. Arrangements, we are told, are being made through Kakovit to add to what states are presently having. 555 million naira has also been released by the Ministry of Finance to 5 tertiary institutions to help generate oxygen. And another 6.45 billion naira is being released to the Ministry of Health to develop new oxygen plants in about 38 locations across the nation.
For the excess crude account, the balance as at 28th of January 2021 is $72,411,197.80.
NEC also resolved to engage the nation's youths at state, regional, and national levels to contribute more to finding solutions to the needs and growth of the country. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
The Nigeria Governors Forum has dissociated itself from statements by Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello, casting doubts on the existence of the ravaging coronavirus pandemic, while they fully pledge commitment to its containing the rising second wave of infections in the country. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports that the Nigeria Governors Forum responded to Governor Bello's remarks in the media at the forum's 24th teleconference.
The communique issued at the 24th teleconference of the forum, NGF says it is not part of the statement credited to Kogi Governor Yahaya Bello and assured Nigerians of unwavering commitment to defeat COVID-19. The forum also interfaced with global and local partners, including the World Bank, on the epidemic preparedness innovations to facilitate COVID-19 vaccines by February 2021. The National Primary Health Care Development Agency and a renowned virologist, Professor Oyewale Tomori, are working to ensure smooth transition of vaccines with priority to the aged and those with underlying medical conditions. Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State interfaced with Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 on upsurge of the pandemic and Dr. Sarah Alade on development of Nigerian Agenda 2050. The forum received presentation on sustainable water supply, sanitation and hygiene, SUWASH, results-based financing programs for states with World Bank funding of $700 million. The forum received presentation from Dimensions Information Technology and Governor of Edo State Godwin Obaseki on harmonized traffic management to boost revenue and domestication of National Chart of Account for 2020 state fiscal transparency, accountability and sustainability. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
Less than a month to go, National Identity Number Registration (NIN) in Plateau State records appreciable level of improvement. Caleb Gochin reports that enrollees wait patiently for registration.
The queues are still long, with high expectations from the citizens to be issued with slips by the authorities. They agree that though challenging, the process has been improved upon and express the hope that their anxiety will soon be over given the commitment of officials.
As I came this morning, I managed to give them the small slip that they gave me the other day. Right now, I'm still waiting against hope. If there is the luck, maybe I'll collect it today.
My advice to the people is for them to come and enroll for their national ID card, because definitely if you don't do it, the government say they will block your line. So, and it's even advisable you can go anywhere with it and they will know you are a Nigerian once you have your national ID card.
State coordinator of NIMSI in Plateau State, Garba Ibrahim Nuhu, confirmed that the deadline of 9th February set by the federal government to round off the exercise still stands. He, however, notes that everything is being done to ensure that all those who present themselves are enrolled.
60 years and above, that's the senior citizen, are given a preferential treatment. They just walk in, they get attended to, and they go. We also make preferential treatment for the disabled. So the moment we sight them around our premises, they will be given that treatment. Immediately they get enrolled and they can be able to go home and do other things.
The coordinator appealed for more patience from those whose permanent cards are yet to be released, with an assurance that they will soon take possession of them. In Jos, Caleb Gochin, NTA News.
To utilize and improve on the rich potentials of the state, Governor Simon Lalong has visited the French ambassador to Nigeria, Jerome Pasquier, for discussions on areas of investment in the agricultural and mineral sectors. Rinred Silvanus Lott has details.
Governor Lalong highlighted the economic blueprint of the state with focus on areas of comparative advantage, which include mineral development, agriculture, and tourism sectors, which can generate revenue for the state.
While I invite you to visit Plateau and get a first-hand appreciation of this potential, I know you have gone already, but this one is going to be special. Ready to go back at any time. So I wish to inform you, Your Excellency, that we have set up a one-stop investment center to facilitate the ease of doing business in our state. This investment center, the State Ministry of Mineral Development and the Plateau Investment and Property Development Company are all ready to interface with you and investors from your country.
The French ambassador to Nigeria indicated interest in collaborating with Plateau State, especially in agriculture and minerals for high-tech.
Cooperation in the field of education, especially with the University of Jos. I know it's not a state university, it's a federal university, but it is important. We had discussion about the movie activities in Jos. We have this alliance. We have some, and we are open to any possibility. And I know that you are very very rich in different minerals, and you know how those minerals are precious those days because they are used for many high-tech industry. So I'm sure we can do more with Plateau State. We have a small French community.
Governor Lalong was also at the Plateau State Liaison Office, where renovation is set to kickstart. He was accompanied by the Commissioner of Mineral Development, Jude Dakur. In Jos, Rinred Silvanus Slot, NTA News.
A slight yet significant reduction in the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria has sparked renewed hope in ongoing efforts by the federal government to end the lingering negative trend in Nigeria. Minister of Education Adamu spoke on the issue at a media event in Abuja. Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports.
A 2018 survey by United Nations Children Fund UNICEF put the population of out-of-school children in Nigeria at 10.5 million. That report projected that the figure will increase to 13.2 million, attributing the spike to insecurities and the subsequent disruption of academic activities in the Northeast. Worried by such projections and committed to reversing the trend, the Federal Ministry of Education engaged in activities capturing its policy blueprint titled Education for Change.
Association of Providers and School Owners of Nigeria have been working very closely with the ministry to reduce the number of out-of-school children. At the last count, the association has taken over 1 million out-of-school children off the streets. In the last 2 years, 1,900,000 illiterate Nigerians have been able to read and write in English or the 3 Nigerian languages.
As you recall, Mr. President has challenged all ministers to continue to showcase the numerous achievements of his administration. Today's press conference or briefing is very much in line with that directive.
On tertiary education, efforts are run to build a national education cloud for teachers and students at all levels, where research and resources can be harnessed electronically to boost learning. A harmonized academic calendar has also been worked out following the disruption of academic activities occasioned by COVID-19 last year. Abdullahi Musa Sleja, NTA News.
Schools in Plateau State have resumed in earnest with impressive turnout of pupils and students within Jos Metropolis. Saadatu Mohammed Kafa has situation reports.
As schools resume, the fear and anxiety which grip the minds of parents are allayed as strict measures to contain the spread of the virus are being put in place by school authorities.
The infrared thermometer, we have it at the gate, and we have the running waters within for students to wash their hands. And we've also asked the learners and the teachers to always have their nose masks and then always put it on.
We have put in place a lot of measures. We do daily temperature check. People who are having 37.5 and above, we don't allow them into the school. And if you move around to enter some of our classes, you will see all our students using the face mask. We have been able to provide washing hand machine. As people come in, they wash their hands before entering the school compound.
First of all, every student must wear a face mask. We make sure every teacher, as you go in, no student will be without face mask. So even if we go to one class, you see them. So we actually are COVID-19, at least we're ready to fight the battle.
Some of the students who said they are aware of the danger posed by the pandemic are short of compliance to safety protocols at all times.
Sanitizers, use our face masks all through classes. Even in the lab, we observe social distancing. So it's just assured that nothing bad is going to happen.
We have put the facilities that help us wash our hands regularly. We maintain social distancing at our classes, and we carry on very regular sanitations on a daily basis and very frequently at that.
Plateau State has been in the news as one of the states with upsurge of the pandemic. Stakeholders advise citizens to ensure total compliance to safety guidelines. In Jos, Saadat Muhammad Kafa, NTA News.
We have in the studio the Director of Schools in the Plateau State Ministry of Education, John Stephanus, to speak more on efforts to curtail the spread of COVID-19 as schools resume academic activities. Sir, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you on the program.
Thank you.
Now let's begin this way. What new measures have the state put in place to prevent the spread of the virus in schools in view of the increasing infection in Plateau State?
Actually, the state has increased awareness despite all odds and resistance, sometimes ignorance. But the awareness and advocacies are everywhere, so that everybody will be aware of these measures that should be put in place. The state government has, on its part, fumigated schools and has trained the area directors, zonal directors, and such training have been stepped down so that nobody is ignorant of what should be done to curtail the spread of these diseases. And so we discovered that the schools have been directed, and hand sanitizers, face masks, and water for washing of hands are put in place in hostels and in classes, and all the environments of the schools are so saturated with such provisions so that there's no any room for any disease spreading and the virus coming in among the students. These are some of the measures the government have actually put in place.
Okay. Now, in the event that some students contact the virus in schools, what provision have you made to tackle the situation?
The provision government is making is through the primary health care clinics in almost every local government. There are some schools that are well-to-do, and they have established for themselves school clinics. In fact, recently I visited a school. They even have an isolation center. They showed me beds that were meant for students in case of any identification of any symptom springing up from the students. Such a student will be isolated and will be kept, and further NCDC will be contacted to see how they can ameliorate the situation.
Okay, is that to say that there are medical personnel in some of these schools?
Yes, we have medical personnel in some of the schools, and then we say some schools that are not having such opportunities should make good use of school primary health care clinics or hospitals nearest to them. Should there be any instances of any case spotted, they should quickly and immediately go to such facilities and they will be attended to.
Okay, no doubt a lot has been lost within this period. Any plan on how to cover for the lost period of studies?
It is very, very difficult to bring back how many months of losses. And it will eventually affect even the other sessions. But what we have said we should do is that teachers should embark on extra lessons so that they will be able to at least, because we are not the only one, WAEC is a regional exams that will be taken by all countries in the West African region and beyond. So the only thing is to make sure that teachers are committed to all the available period they have to teach and then arrange extra lessons for these students. At least that will go a long way to assist them in covering the syllabus before them.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for being on the program. This is how far we can go on the discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We'll take a break. Panorama continues shortly.
The Council of Our Fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not anger. families.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
For now, the best and most efficient way to avoid getting infected is through regular hygienic and sanitary practices, as well as social distancing. As individuals, we remain the greatest weapon to fight this pandemic. By washing our hands regularly with clean water and soap, disinfecting frequently used surfaces and areas, coughing into a tissue or elbow, and strictly adhering to infection prevention control measures in health facilities, we can contain this virus.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has announced 1,964 new COVID-19 infections in 23 states and the FCT. Security is one in the latest feature release. FCT has 246, Plateau 166, Kaduna 128, Ogun 76, Nasarawa 74, Anambra 69, Edo 50, Rivers 45, Ondo 44, Niger 40, as Oyo State has 38 new cases. There were 35 new cases recorded in Adamawa, 31 in Kano, 27 in Akwa Ibom, 19 in Gombe, 13 in Kwara, 12 in Ekiti. Delta and Kebbi, 6 new cases each, as 5 were recorded in Bauchi, 4 in Ebonyi, 3 in Oshun, and 1 in Zamfara. The active cases at the moment are 21,524 in Nigeria. So far, Nigeria has 116,655 confirmed cases of COVID-19 with 93,646 discharged, while 1,485 died of the virus. To the world of sports, Minister for Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, has joined the sports fraternity to pay tribute to former Green Eagles coach Joe Errico, who passed on Thursday morning. Gift Judge has details.
Fraternity was thrown into mourning following the passing away of former Super Eagles assistant coach Joe Errico. Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dare has described the death of former Green Eagles goalkeeper Joe Errico as a monumental loss to Nigeria. The minister said Joe Errico's death is sad and unfortunate and one too many and a great loss to the sports family. The late Joe Errico made his mark as a player with NEPA Football Club in the 70s. He was then called to be part of the Green Eagles, who ended with a bronze medal at the 1976 African Cup of Nations in Ethiopia. After his playing career, he went on to coach Julius Berger, where he introduced Jogo Bonito's style of play, which had Brazilian flair.
In football industry, Nigeria just means a big fish in respect of ramifications of football.
Put the ball on the ground. Go and ask whoever played under him, from Julius Berger
to the national team of Nigeria. It made football look so easy. It was a perfect gentleman.
He was part of the coaching crew that qualified Nigeria's under-23 team to the Sydney Olympic Games. He was later recalled to the Super Eagles technical crew as assistant coach to late coaches Amadou Chouaibou and Stephen Keshi for the 2002 African Cup of Nations in Mali and also for the 2002 World Cup qualification.
He has really done well for Nigerian team, training children in the aspect of sports.
Somebody who believe in grassroots development, somebody who believe in progress.
The late Joe Errico died at the age of 72. In Lagos, Gift George, NTA Sports.
And that has been Panorama from NTA Network Center, Jos. Good afternoon.